Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports and the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Zihir Basho. In tonight's game plan, the PBA is officially back in action. We'll break down some of the top storylines in the return of the Governor's Cup. Then we'll talk about the biggest trade of the NBA this year, James Harden for Ben Simmons. And we'll check in with Philippine women's volleyball team coaches Jorge Souza de Brito and Odjie Mamon as they share their preparations for the upcoming Southeast Asian Games. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. The wait is over for PBA fans. Today marks the return of the Governor's Cup after a long break, and a lot of moves have been shaking up the league all week. Joining us to break down the top PBA storylines is my partner for tonight, PBA champ Coach Willie Wilson and former PBA All-Star Dylan Ababu. Mga idol, good evening and welcome to the game.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
All right, so we asked the two of you to pick some of the biggest storylines to watch out as the PBA gets back into action. Okay, let's start with the big move of Chris Banchero to the Meralco Bulls. So, una-una, Kuya Dylan, bakit ito ang inaabangan ng PBA fans?
Well, syempre, yun nga, big trade siya and unexpected. And syempre, si Chris Banchero, isa sa mga pretty faces syempre sa PBA. And yeah, I think Meralco really likes him. I think Coach Norman really wants to get him. Kaya,
alright.
yun,
Okay, how about you, Coach Willie? You've been his coach. Ano ang scouting report natin? How much of an impact will he be in this new system of Coach Norman?
Siyempre si Chris Banchero, very near and dear to my heart, as well as the hearts of the Phoenix franchise and Phoenix fans all over the country. Pero siyempre, life goes on. Nawala sa amin. As a free agent, he was actually our top leading local scorer. So for us to lose Chris the way we did, siyempre masakit. Pero in the end, guys have to step up. That's the name of the game. Dylan has been there. I've been there. Actually, we've both been given opportunities through the same way by players going down, us stepping up, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, for me, my biggest question for Dylan would be like, since Meralco has been using a point guard by committee of sorts, Nards Pinto was there, Andrew Karam, and Aaron Black. How does Chris now fit into that? Does he assume the alpha role as a point guard, or do they continue that point guard by committee?
Thank you for that wonderful question, Coach Willie. Well, I think kahit dati pa, yung sa trade kay Baser Amer, Coach Norman really wants to get Chris Banchero, and I think Coach Norman wants Chris to lead the new guys, the new guards, Alvin Pasaol, Aaron Black, of course the other guys also, Anjo Karam, and siyempre si Chris Newsa, magandang compliment. So yeah, so think ko maganda ang plano ni Coach Norman kay Chris Banchero and the team.
Alright, so next storyline is one of the 2019 Special Gilas draftees, si Matt Nieto, suiting up for the NLEX Road Warriors. So, Dylan, without Kiefer and Kevin Alas carrying the ball handling load, will he be this solid backup stabilizer of the team for Coach Yang?
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I admire Big Mike's leadership. Dating back from his Ateneo days. And I think he's gonna be a glue guy. A glue guy for the team. Wala si Kiefer, pero even if Big Mike is playing or not, I think he's gonna try his best to be one of the leaders of that team.
All right, Coach Willie, we heard that coaching has been all praises for Matt. Do you think, what do you expect to see from this guy na ngayon part of this system?
Coach Yang doesn't sacrifice his system for any one player. So I expect Matt to just fit in seamlessly. He's won multiple championships. He's been coached by one of the greatest coaches in the Philippines today. So for me, it's going to be a seamless transition for him. He's going to take the mantle once he's given the opportunity and run the show.
All right. So he's used to playing with the big guys like Ange Kwame. Do you see this as one of his biggest roles now, playing with a guy like KJ McDaniels on the team?
Definitely. Although Ange and KJ are two different players, KJ being more dominant, more ball dominant with the ball, and Ange being more of a traditional pick and roll type big. Although he is expanding his skill set, I still believe that Matt being such a seasoned player and also a fellow Gilas player like our man right here, Dylan, it's going to be a seamless transition for him.
All right, next up, Adrian Wong to the Magnolia Hotshots. What can he learn from his bets like Paulie, Calvin Abueva, Mark Baroka, Kuya Dylan?
Well, you can see that Magnolia is very guard-oriented. You have a lot of skillful guards there, and I think he's gonna learn more from Kuya Mark Baroka. Because, Adrian Wong is a two-way player. He can defend, he can shoot. He's very active offensively and defensively. So I think he's gonna learn a lot. And of course, he'll try to guard Paulie on practices, and I also think that Coach Chito will let him guard very good guards in the league.
All right, let's get to it. Last but not the least, si Coach Willie wanted to bring this up. Two big holdouts for Northport Batang Pier, Robert Bolick and Greg Slaughter. Dylan, alam natin ito yung dalawang superstars ng team. Do you think we'll be seeing them play with the team this year? Ano kaya? Ano sa tingin natin?
They have huge offers, right? From I don't know. Is it from Japan? So I don't know. It's gonna depend on maybe how much or the opportunity. Anyway, they can still come back to the PBA anytime they want. So I think that's my opinion.
All right, Coach Willie, wherever they go, international man or local, to the same team or different team, how much of an impact will they bring or will they make as individuals, as athletes?
Oh man, that's huge for Northport to not have those two guys. Bolick averaging 20 points, around 5 rebounds, almost 10 assists. He's a triple-double threat every time he's on the court. We have not played them yet. I think that's going to be huge for us if those two guys aren't on the court. So, I mean, good luck to them.
All right, anything else na talagang sabik na tayong makita at masilayan sa PBA Governors Cup? Kuya Dylan?
Good question. I'm just happy na, yun nga, PBA is back. You can see the players again. Siyempre, we're having a tough time right now, difficult time because of the pandemic. And I'm just happy now fans can see again our PBA superstars.
All right. So be sure to catch the PBA Governors Cup action tomorrow as the Terra Firma Jeep faces the Blackwater Bossing at 4 p.m. And it's Rain or Shine versus Northport Batang Pier at 6:45 p.m. Gentlemen, stay with us because after the break, we'll be breaking down the biggest trade of the NBA this year, James Harden for Ben Simmons. So stay tuned, you're watching The Game. Welcome back to the game. Let's give a shout out to all the basketball people, the fans in this basketball world who certainly lost sleep last night because of the most awaited NBA trade of this year. So it finally happened. James Harden and Paul Millsap get traded to the Philadelphia 76ers in exchange for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond. 2 first-round picks are also sent to the Nets as part of the package. It is time for us to break down the Harden-Simmons blockbuster trade. Still joining me are the 4-time UAAP champion Willie Wilson and 2009 UAAP MVP Dylan Ababu. Guys, kanina before we went on air, I felt like a debate coming up. So, all right, let's get to it. Initial reactions to this blockbuster trade.
MVP.
Okay, the MVP muna tayo.
MVP.
You're my MVP. I think Sixers won the trade because first of all, they really want Ben Simmons out. Then they, of course, they got MVP in James Harden. I think their Sixers are running for a title, for the championship.
Same thoughts, Coach Willie?
I'm on the other side. I'm on the other side of this coin. I mean, all right, yeah, both teams are, title or bust. But again, you can't mortgage your future just for the present. Or I mean, unless you're assured of winning a championship. Now, I look at this trade. Number 1, is Harden healthy? Number 2, can he coexist with Joel Embiid? They both need the ball. Kulang yung basketball sa Philly.
Okay.
So sa other side, sa Brooklyn naman, Kyrie's only there half the time. We all know that Ben Simmons doesn't want to shoot, so di naman niya kailangan yung bola. And then Durant, the ball is his, it's in his hands.
But I heard Ben is the shooting guard. So ngayon meron silang shooting guard sa Philly. Do you think this will take them all the way, maybe to the finals?
Not this year. Brooklyn is looking for the next year kasi Kyrie is just playing half the season.
Right.
And then KD is hurt. And then Ben Simmons hasn't played the whole year. So I think Steve Nash and the management are looking forward to the next season. And I think Ben Simmons will be a great fit because he's a very good perimeter defender. And then Brooklyn has no perimeter defender. So I'm excited for the Brooklyn Nets for next year.
Teka.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. All right. In Brooklyn's favor, they're on a 10, 11 game losing streak. Could it be possible that they are losing or tanking on purpose so that they do not have home court advantage in the playoffs, so that Kyrie can play the majority of the games? Do you think that's a possibility?
Yeah, that's a possibility. Because I think Brooklyn doesn't want Kyrie to play there, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I don't want, of course, Brooklyn to be in the 6th or 7th or 8th spot. So I think they need to win. But like I said, I think they're not gunning for the title this year.
All right, how do we feel about yung laro ni Ben Simmons now that he's transferring to a new team? Kasi they're saying, a lot of fans were saying na, ano ba yan? Hindi na pumupunto si Ben Simmons. Maybe it's time to trade him out. And now, finally, the trade happened. How do you think this will affect his performance?
Well, on a positive note, Ben Simmons will have a fresh start with Brooklyn. And of course, he's not that ball heavy. And he can just focus on defense, having Durant and Kyrie have the ball all the time. And I think it's gonna really be a good pick for them. Like what I said a while ago on the defensive side. Because I think he's second last year on the defensive player of the year. And he doesn't need the ball. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a good pick for Brooklyn.
Okay, how about James Harden, another superstar in this new team, the Philly 76ers? Ano masasabi natin? Will he be jiving with his new teammates?
Yun nga, that's the thing. Katulad yung sinabi ko kanina, kulang yung bola sa Philly. Historically speaking, James Harden needs the ball in his hands, whether it's on an isolation, whether it's through pick and roll. He has a dominant big who is leading the league in scoring at almost 30 points per game. And the majority of his points are coming from post-ups and steals and offensive rebounds and so on and so forth. Now, you're going to ask him to give up the ball to appease James Harden or run ball screens with James Harden. He only rolls to the basket 16 times out of every 100 possessions. That's not going to get it done with James Harden.
I see. So, earlier, Kuya Dylan, sabi mo, who won the trade? You said it's going to be the 76ers.
The
How about
76ers.
I'm on the board for Brooklyn.
All right. How about the other trades? Or are we done talking about the Ben Simmons and Harden?
Yeah.
No hard feelings
No,
na?
no. I won't be throwing any paper at Dylan
Okay,
today.
okay.
All
No throwing of anything.
No paper throwing. No paper
All
throwing.
right. How about any other trades that parang nag-stir up ng emotions sa atin? Kuya Dylan.
Halliburton Sabonis, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, okay. Halliburton, a great young player. I think he's gonna do well in the league. And I'm on the record about Sabonis. I said that he should have been an All-Star. And I love his game. He's a triple-double threat. I love big men that can do multiple things on the court. But I still don't think this trade really does much for both teams. They're both in a rebuilding year. So I think the bigger trade would be the Porzingis trade for Dinwiddie and Bertans. I think that right there it's going to make a big impact on the playoff race in the West. Ikaw, Dylan.
Yeah, I think Dallas lost that trade, and of course the Wizards won it because Dallas is gunning for a good spot in the Western Conference. I think they're like trying to be 4th or 5th or maybe 3rd. So, and they have a lot of guards already. And,
correct.
Bolick, Finney-Smith, Brunson, then Luka, and then they're gonna get Dinwiddie. So I think they need Kristaps more. So they lost that part of the trade.
Yeah, I really like the fit of Porzingis and Beal together. As obviously, when Beal gets back, you have a big that can play away from the basket, that can block shots on defense. Beal, loves to shoot the ball. I just think it works seamlessly with the both of them.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have anything to say about Caris LeVert to the Cavaliers, though? How about that trade?
I mean, okay. All right. We're talking about the Cavs on the playoff run. I like Caris LeVert. They lost Rubio. Caris LeVert is a 2-guard. That's what they're missing. And I think he fits well. He can play on the ball. He can play off the ball. I mean, it fits.
All right, well, salamat kasi talagang na-enlighten kaming basketball fans and new fans alike. Thank you, Kuya Dylan, for joining us tonight. And when we return, we'll check in with Philippine women's volleyball team coaches Jorge Souza de Brito and Odjie Mamon as they share their preparations for the upcoming Southeast Asian Games. Will there be a big announcement? Find out when the game returns. You're watching The Game. It's all systems go for the Philippine women's volleyball team as preparations start for the upcoming SEA Games in Hanoi, Vietnam. Coaches Jorge Souza de Brito and Odjie Mamon join our very own Billy Capistrano in this latest edition of Inside the Game.
Joining us tonight on Inside the Game are Coach Jorge Edson Souza de Brito and Coach Odjie Mamon, head coaches of the Philippine women's national volleyball team that will be competing in the 31st Southeast Asian Games in Vietnam this May. Coach Jorge and Coach Odjie, welcome to the game. Hello, coaches. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, thank you very much,
for having us.
Before anything else, it's quite uncommon for a volleyball team to have two head coaches and two brilliant head coaches at that. So what is the dynamic between the two of you, and do you each have a specific role in the team? How do you delegate tasks?
When I was offered the task of coaching the national team, they asked me if I can work with a foreign coach. I said yes. I'm very flexible and I can accept that. So for these SEA Games, I will be taking the lead from Coach Jorge.
All right, so we have that out of the way. Now let's talk about your pool of players naman this time, Coach Jorge. When we look at that list, it's very different from the pool of players or the lineup that you had the last time. So given this, what's the reason for all these changes?
Well, thank you for asking. And it's very important for you to know and everyone that we have some special requests for this list. We cannot bring the younger from the university because they right now on the UAAP preparing to play this. So we only use the PVL players and the college one. So you can see on the list. Two young players there. They're from California. They played on the Champions League. So this list is it's about the players who plays in Champions League and the last PVL in July. So it's mixed that we have just on our memories because they don't play anymore since. So we have to bring them right now and praying for them coming from the club is very good. So we have to pray for this.
What was the criteria in choosing these pro players? And of course, Casey Dongallo and Jelaica Guerrero, who are very, very young. What impressed you about them?
Well, the players included in the lineup were originally in the wish list naman. So we need to get these players, these top caliber players, to play for the SEA Games. And with the absence of the university players, as students, so we finally can tap them all.
Right now, Coach Jorge.
Speaking of criteria, these are all top performers in their own teams, in their respective teams.
Pero Coach, meron po ba kayong specific formula na hinahanap sa 14 players na ipapadala nyo sa Vietnam in May?
Player must be balanced in defensive and offensive skills.
What preparations do you have in mind given the short time frame you have since it is already in May?
Okay, this is happening everywhere, and because the national team season always starts when you make a list after you watch the national Champions League in everywhere, in Brazil, in Italy, and Turkey. Unfortunately, we don't have this chance this last 3 years. So we have some Champions League, we have two PVLs, but the level is still rising up after a big stoppage. So what you have to improve this is first, I want and I pray for them to play very good and health in their clubs. So you can choose the best ones. So even before, because our list, the deadline is before they start to play. So still, we're looking for the memories. But I'm doing something different this year. And okay, I've not mentioned now, but I'm going and I'm going to the clubs to watch them in the practice.
Wow.
I ask him for the coaches, so it's a different way to just to watch. It's very important to me. It's a life is different than videos.
So yeah, that's very interesting, Coach. So are you saying that a big, part of their inclusion or their possible inclusion in the lineup is how they perform in their club teams during the PBL?
Yes, but right now this year it means impossible because our deadline to send the list will be 12, and they will start only 16. So you can imagine.
Yeah, that is pretty stressful. That is pretty stressful. Coach Odjie.
This is my
Coach
wife. My wife.
We have
Look,
to
Coach, you
communicate
still
with
look
the
good.
teams and allow Coach Jorge to observe their training sessions with the protocol in place. I don't know how we go about it.
So, coaches, aside from this, aside from the lack of preparation, are there any other specific challenges that you're anticipating along the way, Coach Odjie?
For nothing big, but the confirmation of availability of the players listed. And of course, there's one special project before the SEA Games. I don't know if it's okay to announce it now, Coach Jorge, the one you're working on.
So maybe in the next couple of weeks, we will find out what this big secret is. But coaches, before I let you go, it's
not
been
a secret anymore. There's a training camp in Brazil.
Oh, okay, and this is a go. This is confirmed, Coach Jorge. It's confirmed. Wow, that is great news for all the volleyball fans as well. And grabe, ang dami niyong pasabog this interview, and thank you so much for trusting.
Kasi with the short preparation, we really need to give a pre-match or a couple of matches before the tournament. This would be the training for their cohesiveness also.
So when will this training camp happen?
It's starting after the PVL. We'll go to Brazil on 12. We're trying to book a flight there, and I don't know if it's ready or not. And we'll be back on May 4, so we'll be 21 days there.
That's very good to hear. Very good to hear that you guys are preparing well for the SEA Games. Well, thank you so much, Coach Jorge and Coach Odjie. It was so nice talking to you guys. It was great talking to the both of you. And we wish you all the best in your preparations for the SEA Games.
Thank you, Billy.
Thank you, Billy.
And thank you so much for joining us as well. I'm Billy Capistrano for The Game.
Now heading over to some icy updates from the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. Japan's Hirano Ayumu starts a new era in the halfpipe as he pulls off a pair of unprecedented triple corks, bringing home the gold. Meanwhile, Super G skier Lara Gut-Berami makes history for Switzerland, winning gold in the women's Super G. And lone Filipino representative Asa Miller starts his campaign in the Winter Games with the Super G happening on Sunday at 10 a.m. He will also be competing in the slalom on February 16. Catch the games on One Sports and One Sports Plus. You may also catch every moment by watching on the Beijing Winter Olympics channel via Signal Channel 198 SD and 298 HD. Thank you again, Coach Willie Wilson, for joining us tonight. Salamat. How was your first co-hosting experience?
Oh, it was amazing. I got to thank you for making this super fun and just easy for me. I really enjoyed my time here. Thanks.
All right. Are you looking forward to anything this 2022 for the sports world?
Well, I mean, personally speaking, and just for the continuation of the PBA, and obviously for my kids and all the kids to be able to get out and start participating in team sports as well.
All right. Thank you, Coach Willie. Catch us weeknights here on One Sports News, and One Sports Plus. I'm Z Herbacio, and this has been The Game.